I had the wonderful good fortune to have a terrific mentor by the name of Dr. Eugene, who was a psychiatrist at the University of Pennsylvania, where I was. And he also had a PhD in anthropology. And he had often looked at the relationship between the brain and our religious and spiritual selves. And right around the time that I connected with him, we started to kind of expand what we were doing in terms of the areas of the brain that were involved. But interestingly, there was always this piece that connected sexuality to spirituality, because as an anthropologist, he had always surmised that, well, if you kind of take an evolutionary perspective, that the rituals that occur in the human brain, particularly the rituals that surround, well, everything that we do, we have rituals in almost every aspect of our lives, but particularly religious and spiritual rituals, if they evolved in the human brain, well, they had to come from somewhere. They had to come from animal rituals. That would make some sense from an evolutionary perspective. But the key piece to that is, what exactly are animal rituals? Well, all animal rituals are sexual rituals. They're mating rituals. They help animals come together so that they can connect and ultimately procreate and continue the species. So mating rituals are essential for virtually every species on the planet and for hundreds of millions of years. Ultimately, that whole process evolved into the complex workings of the human brain. So we always kind of knew that there was this tie-in, but we never had the opportunity to really test it. And that's what ultimately kind of came about, that brought this book about, which was the ability to study a practice like orgasmic meditation, where we could actually see what's going on in the brain when a combination of sexual activity and spiritual activity kind of come together, and help us to learn and pick apart what are the areas of the brain that are involved. And as that video just showed, part of what the ultimate conclusion of all of this is, which I think supports the original ideas that we had 30 years ago, is that the areas of the brain that underlie sexuality are essentially the same as the ones that underlie spirituality. And so there is an intimate connection here that is what kind of blossomed into this entire book project that talks about all of those connections, and then how they really become a part of almost every aspect of human life, from our social interactions to our moral thought processes to political systems, all the things that make us who we are as human beings, our creative processes, really derive from this intimate connection between spirituality and sexuality.